So despite the fact I've been away for the last half a year, I have actually still been keeping up with all the goings on with Kingdom Hearts. And
let's go!
Why are you crying?
And hot on the heels of that historic reveal, we got this cool little trailer for the Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary, and that had some cool stuff in it. Yeah, some really cool stuff. But in all honesty, the only part of this trailer that I think was of any real significance to most of us was the Dark Road segment at the end, because that showed us some brand new scenes and we got our first look at some fresh faces. I'm pretty sure these two are both upperclassmen. She seems like she stepped in to save Erd. Why Erd is by herself, I'm not sure, but no doubt we'll find out. And then this dude over here, well, this dude, he's looking fly. I can't lie. But personally, I think all that flair in his fashion is just there to distract you from the fact that his eyes are looking suspiciously yellow. And given these lot's expressions, they don't seem too chuffed at the sight of him, or maybe they're just mad at the drip. I mean, look at him. He looks like he just pulled up out of a portal looking fresh to death. Meanwhile, look at them looking like a bunch of Kingdom Hearts characters or something. Except Braggy, he's giving that look of approval because he knows what time it is. Anyway, yeah, I'd say they certainly appear to be upperclassmen, and if so, it seems at least one of them might have encountered some darkness and came away with some souvenirs. What is going on in these scenes is obviously something we'll have to wait until sometime this winter to find out about. And a lot of us have been hoping that Dark Road would be dropping in December, but with every second, that outcome grows ever less likely. Regardless, I'd reckon January is probably going to be the latest, you know, just to give us some time to view and actually ruminate on whatever twists and turns it is that we're going to witness, so that we're ready for whatever it is they're going to throw at us at the anniversary event. Speaking of which, what will they throw at us? I think most of us can probably agree what we'd like to see is at least the announcement of a new Kingdom Hearts title. For many people, that's either a new spin-off title that precedes Kingdom Hearts 4 or Kingdom Hearts 4 itself. For me personally though, I'm going to actually go out on a bit of a limb here and say I think it could be both. Yeah, I'm actually willing to be that optimistic. The way I see it, this is the 20th anniversary, and since Nomura has already said that everything they're going to announce will surprise us, I'm willing to put some faith in it. Now bear in mind that at the time he said that in that Famitsu interview, that was in September of 2020. And since then we got Kingdom Hearts announced on PC, we had the end of Union Cross, which had a pretty fair number of twists and surprises in it, and of course we got Sora in Smash. So all of those things were pretty big deals for a year where we weren't expecting to see much of anything to do with Kingdom Hearts besides Union Cross and Dark Road. Which is ironic because the year is almost over and we're still waiting on Dark Road's update. As I've suggested before, Dark Road might have a secret ending or post-credit scene that will tease something related to one of the upcoming titles. Also, let's not forget about the GeForce leak of Kingdom Hearts 4 that happened a few months ago, especially since Nvidia confirmed it was a real list. Now yeah, it doesn't confirm that Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be announced next year, but regardless, we know Kingdom Hearts 4 is on the horizon, and personally, I think if Nomura really wants to live up to his word about surprising us, that is certainly something that would be a surprise. And before you say, but next gen, there's no possible way Kingdom Hearts 4 could be announced anytime soon because Kingdom Hearts 3 took like 1,000 years to come out and Phase 2 has barely begun. Well, sure, Kingdom Hearts 3 took ages to come out, but that's mostly because they had to switch from the Luminous engine to the Unreal engine. They ain't gonna be switching engines mid-production again. I mean, maybe at most they'll shift over to Unreal Engine 5, but that's about it. Also, everyone seems to forget that Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2 only had a 3-year gap. And I mean, 2022 is 3 years after 2019. So it's not like it's entirely impossible for them to at least announce the game next year, even if we don't get it until 2025 or something. And about Phase 2 just beginning, this is a sentiment I've seen a number of people with, and I'm not entirely sure where it's coming from. The only reason we're even saying the phrase Phase 2 is because of this graphic. And in this very same graphic, you can clearly see that Phase 2 hasn't just begun, it's actually already almost finished. Based on this image, Phase 2 started with Remind, followed by the mobile games and Melody of Memory, so we're only 2 games away from wrapping this phase up. This is also one of the reasons why I think 2 games could be announced at the event, both of which I'm assuming would be these final 2 titles. What would these titles be? Well, I'd agree with most that it'd probably be a spin-off title and then Kingdom Hearts 4. Now regarding what that spin-off title could be, I mean, it could be anything, but that last slot pretty much has to be Kingdom Hearts 4. I mean, what other game would they use to end the entire phase? Bear in mind, everything that we got before Remind is considered phase 1, and that consisted of 3 numbered titles. So this phase surely is going to have at least one, that being Kingdom Hearts 4. Also, this phase is notably a lot shorter. Now some people might think it's impossible for the phase to be so short because of the way that past entries were handled. But well, if we have another spin-off title announced next year, then that will be 4 games before Kingdom Hearts 4. It's just that these stories now are being told kind of more simultaneously rather than years apart. So in a sense, we're still getting a few spin-offs before the next number title, it's just being done a bit differently to how it was before. And don't forget, times have changed now. These days, developers can just add additional story in the form of DLCs or expansions, something like a 0.2 but as a DLC for the next spin-off title. There's not really a need to make several games before Kingdom Hearts 4, but given the games that have taken up phase 2 slots so far, this is very important. Like, whatever it is, I think it's going to have to make up for Melody of Memory, because whilst we got some story at the end, it's not really enough for all the plot threads that need tying up, and Nomura has said that there is a game that must release before Kingdom Hearts 4, and judging by this picture, I'm guessing that's what's coming up next. So what could that game possibly be? Yeah, that certainly wasn't the most obvious choice, was it? I think it makes a lot of sense, and again, going off Nomura's words about us getting surprised and that the next game needs to come out before Kingdom Hearts 4 to help set up what's coming next, I'd say it fits. He also said that he wants to drastically change the world and tell a new story, but also tie up loose ends. Now I have no doubt that Virum Rex would be perfect for that part about a new story, especially so that we actually know who Yozora is and what exactly is going on in his world, so that we can understand what the heck it is we're getting into. But the part about tying up remaining loose ends makes me a bit doubtful. That specific quote came from an interview Nomura did with Dengeki Online for the launch of Melody of Memory, so what he's describing here is most likely the next unannounced title. But again, the bit about loose ends doesn't fit a Virum Rex game, at least to me. I mean, a Virum Rex game would likely be a story about Yozora's origin, right? And it would lead up until the current time in the story. So I don't think that game would be tying up loose ends because it'd be too busy on starting and closing completely new ones. That's just how I'm seeing it. I don't know, maybe Nomura will make the next game be all about what's going on with each trio instead or something, or perhaps I'm taking the wording too literally or misunderstanding it. Besides that though, I do think there's the possibility for something else to be revealed. Maybe that Disney Plus series that was rumoured, or perhaps a completely different show or anime or some other type of series. Just anything other than a live action movie, just please don't. I also wouldn't be surprised if we got some next gen upgrades of all the games for free, of course. I mean, surely even Square wouldn't want the smoke that had come from trying to charge us for that. Speaking of next gen, something else Nomura said in that Dengeki interview is that a next gen Kingdom Hearts game would be released after many other companies have released their titles, so that it would be something that would compete. Firstly, he said it'd be released after other companies have released their titles. We can clearly see a lot of heavy hitters are dropping next year, especially in February, which is a month before Kingdom Hearts' anniversary. When he says it would be something that can compete though, something tells me he doesn't just mean graphically, but maybe also tonally. I don't see him saying that about another typical Kingdom Hearts game because, as he said, he wants to change the world and switch up the formula. I think that this hypothetical game he's describing here would be something that even a non-Kingdom Hearts fan might look at and say, damn, that looks just as good as Horizon or Elden Ring, or perhaps more similarly, Final Fantasy Origin. So if that's true, then I'm hoping for Virum Rex, but we'll see. Whatever the case, 2022 seems like it'll be one of the best year for game releases that we've had in a while, so whatever hand they want to play next year at the anniversary event, it's going to need to be a strong one so that they don't get drowned out by all the hype for everything else. And there's also always the possibility that the event will just be a massive disappointment. I mean, from what I've heard from fans of other franchises, their anniversaries this year didn't really live up to the hype. But I'm sure that won't be the case with Kingdom Hearts, right? Sure. Now before you ask, Next Gen, why were you gone for so long and why did you just suddenly come back and drop a 24-minute near video? You know we're all here for Kingdom Hearts. Well listen mate, this is the outro of the video, so I ain't gonna explain it here, but I'll do a catch-up live stream either a bit after Christmas or in the new year. Probably in the new year for being honest. But the short version of it is I've been busy and technologically impeded. So yeah, that's all from me for now. Thanks for watching the video. You already know how to show your support. Share any thoughts you have in the comments below. My name is NextGenNovelist. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. And that's all I've got to say. And I'm out. Peace.